Ortiz is here. Good morning. But Ms. Caballero, I had requested a hearing on one of these upcoming trials. You might have gotten notice for it yesterday, for Thursday. If you don't mind, the name escapes me right now, but when we get to your cases, let me go back and look at it. I'm just trying to organize some upcoming trial weeks. So if you're prepared, maybe we can just do, you know, somewhat informal, but we can do it on the record, doesn't matter. I just want to make sure I have an idea on trials. Okay, with that said, good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez. Thank you, Ms. Caballero, presiding over the 210th District Court Criminal Docket for August 30th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case, please?
Yes, Judge. On top of page 6, Judge. In cause number 2021-0D02211, State of Texas versus Darren Alvin Fry. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Luis Lopez on behalf of Mr. Fry. Your Honor, my client has signed up the plea agreements and we signed them yesterday, so we're getting them to your court. And we just need a date. I think they're going to be dropping them off today as well. I know Tony's dropping them off today.
Okay, and so, let me, it's really slow. So we're set for trial this week. Well, so we'll have them before Thursday, right, Mr. Lopez?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You'll have them today by the end of the day.
Okay, so as long as we get them, I will be, I'm thinking we'll do the plea on the 13th. So as long as you get us those plea papers, then we'll get you the setting for the 13th. Is that any issues with that date?
None at all, Your Honor.
Okay, so anticipate that setting to plea. All right, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Who's next?
On bottom of page 3, Judge. In cause number 2021-0D03104, State of Texas versus Absark Book Hatami. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Teresa Caballero on behalf of my client, ready.
And I believe we also have 2021-0D03105 also set for final judges conference today. Let me see. This is one. Actually, this is one of them. This is one of the cases that we have set on the 7th of October. I think when I looked yesterday, I didn't see any new filings. And so I just want to check in with you all about how ready we are, or are we really going to trial on that date? Ms. Rocco, you want to start?
Yes, Your Honor. So we attempted to provide a USB probably about a month ago. Ms. Caballero informed us that she was having trouble with the USB. She brought to our office. In the last 2 days, we've been in the process of trying to troubleshoot. We got a response this morning from IT. The USB is not compatible with a PC. And this is directly from the agency, and it was the player that was on the agency. That being said, I spoke to Ms. Caballero earlier, and we can use this kind of like a forensic review. And so we need to schedule some times for Ms. Caballero to come in and view what's on the USB, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So I don't know how, voluminous, how critical, I don't know what we're actually talking about. But I would really hate to wait until October. Well, we've got a month. Oh, it's still tight. I feel like that's still a tight turnaround. Like a month is a good amount of time, but depending how long this takes to have Ms. Caballero have access to it, her to properly review it with her client, I feel like we're not going to make that trial date. But I'm not gonna assume anything. It just I did want to get a gauge. Ms. Caballero, anything?
Your Honor, that's a practical assessment. I'm not going to be able to see it for another 2 weeks. And then I'm going to have to, I don't know how big it is either, but I'm assuming it's not de minimis.
Right, I agree. I would like, since we will not have another hearing until the final hearing plea deadline, I would like for you all to, as you've kind of gotten a handle, at least an initial assessment about what we're talking about, then maybe start a conversation about when to reset this case. So whether it's a joint motion for continuance, maybe you can speak on witnesses, things like that, that you know you'll need, because for the next setting, I know he's not in custody, but for the next setting, I would like to give you a realistic but sure trial setting.
I understand.
We're not up. Ms. Caballero, is there anything else outstanding in terms of any discovery from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, if anything comes up as a result of this document review, evidence review, please file whatever you need to. But let's have some kind of direction before we hit that October 4th.
We will, Your Honor. We will.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ms. Caballero, did she leave?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I don't know who would be handling the other case. The last case we did was one of the ones. The next case was, and I believe we set this for the 15th. Maybe it was Joshua Munoz. Did we set Joshua Munoz for the 15th, Myrna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Caballero, so you know, we don't have to go over everything today, but I noted several motions on that case. I think he was an individual that was sent to competency, came back, and there were several motions that I don't know what movement there has been, but his trial is coming up. And if we're going to need hearings, I just wanted to alert you that if you're going to need hearings on things, please request them, just because scheduling is becoming a little tight here in September, October. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank
I'll
you
let
very
the court
much.
know.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Who's next?
On page 4, Judge, in cause number 2022-0D0-0305 and 2022-0D0-0029, State of Texas versus Gabriel Ivan Caballero. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Ivy?
Yes, I did here.
Okay, Mr. Caballero is in custody. I think this is one that had, I thought we were at a final hearing plea deadline back in the summer, but no, it might have been something else. Again, this is one that is set for October 7th. I have down, I don't see any outstanding motions. How are we doing on this one?
Your Honor, I've been in contact with Mr. Ivy. There was a phone dump. We cannot provide the phone dump over directly to him. There was images that were found, and he has to come in and view it.
Okay.
I've already come in to view the evidence, and I was not able to find anything. There's a ton of stuff on that phone dump, and I've asked Miss. I think it was Miss King before if she had found any images that could guide us in the right direction, and she wasn't able to. So I don't know if Miss Rogers found anything that's specific.
I did. I found some selfies.
Okay.
And it took me about 6 hours looking through it, Mr. Ivy.
So you do know where I can look?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, that'd be great. So October 7th that's a month away, Judge. Yeah, I can make an appointment between now and then and let you know before we have court again.
I would appreciate that, because in terms of the court scheduling, your client is in custody, so that kind of bumps him up to the top of the list, right?
Right. Yeah.
The only thing I see filed right now, and I don't know if you've requested a hearing on it, was July 21st, you filed a motion to respond. But if there's anything else with respect to any of the evidence or anything more substantive, I don't see anything here. So if you need hearings, same thing I will ask is that if you all know there are issues, this one's a little bit more complicated because your client's in custody, but start thinking of a new trial date if you're thinking you're not going to be ready for that.
Okay, Judge. I was only going to press the bond issue if the trial got passed.
Yeah, no, I think on that particular trial week, although I do have a special setting, your client is in custody, and that is going to really bump him to the top of the list here. How are you all, Ms. Rago, in terms of, are you all going to be ready for that October trial date?
We can be, Your Honor. I spoke with the victim. in August, and I'm going to start scheduling pre-trials as well.
Okay, I would say be ready to go, Mr. Ivy, depending on what
Okay.
you all find out or what you all negotiate, anything like that. Be ready to go because he does go to the top of the list. There's only about 3 or 4 cases that day set for trial.
Okay, Judge, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who's next?
On page 6, middle of page 6, Judge,
Mhm.
in cause number 2020-0D04283, State of Texas versus Christopher Jesus Lozano. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Raug on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
And Myrna Pages on behalf of Christopher Lozano, ready, Your Honor, and I believe he's in the waiting room, Judge.
Okay, if we could bring him in, please.
Justin Escobedo with the Adult Probation Department, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Escobedo.
Good morning, Your Honor.
He's logged in.
Mr. Lozano, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lozano is appearing remotely as well. We are scheduled for a probation status hearing. Mr. Escobedo, you want to give me a quick summary on this?
Yes, Your Honor. So from our last scheduled probation status hearing, Your Honor, on August 2nd, we were going to be doing a follow-up this morning regarding his possibility, just regarding the question of his transfer to Harris County. I went ahead and I spoke to Mr. Lozano, and he mentioned to myself, Your Honor, that he will not be seeking his transfer to Harris County. We do have him scheduled for a TAP assessment, Your Honor, on September 8th at 11 in the morning.
Mhm.
And the only thing that we happen to be pending at this time, Your Honor, is getting him a EHN appointment.
Okay, so when was wasn't he in custody last time we were here? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay,
went ahead and you gave him a bond, Judge, you let him out. And he had that pending unfiled felony case that finally got indicted.
mhm.
And then you wanted him here to see how he was doing.
Myrna, so my Myrna, I do see a cause number on that new case 2022-0D02830. So let's attach the probation case to track the new settings for the new case. Ultimately, we have a motion outstanding on him.
Not at this time, Your Honor. There's no active motion to revoke.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I think I'll go ahead and just go along with probation's recommendation at this time. We will be tracking the new case to see if anything comes of that. Ms. Rago, are you handling that one or is someone else in the office?
For my knowledge, I am, Your Honor. I do have an update. I had requested the vet records. That was last week on the 24th. It looks like it will be picked up from evidence Thursday, September the 1st. And then we also requested the 911 call. So I don't have a rec just because I did want to see the vet records before putting that in.
Sure. Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. So yes, ma'am.
I do believe there are vet records already in portal under attachments. It's an assessment. But I don't think that the 911 call is in yet, so.
Okay. Well, we'll see where we are once we get a little bit further into the new case. So Mr. Escobedo, if you'll just let me know if he fails to comply with any of these appointments or any other conditions bring you concerns, and we'll go from there. Okay, I won't
Yes,
need
Your
you
Honor.
to appear necessarily, Mr. Escobedo, for those unless we have an issue and you want to come before the court. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, will do.
Thank you so much. Pages, I guess we're just going to track the new case for now. Okay.
Okay, Judge, and just to be clear, so for the next setting, you don't need Mr. Lozano on, or would you like for him to come on via Zoom?
So the only thing I need Mr. Lozano to do is to check in per the court every time he has a scheduled hearing. So Mr. Lozano, every Monday, 9 to 12, you check in via Zoom with the bailiff. And unless you hear otherwise, I don't really need him to appear.
Okay, sounds good, Judge.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I
Thank you,
be
Your Honor.
excused?
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you both. Thank you, Mr.
Ms.
Lozano.
Pages,
Thank you,
Ms.
Judge.
Pages,
Hope you have a great day.
Ms. Pages,
Yes, sir.
on page 2, Judge,
Mhm.
Ms. For Quesada Sergio, you have
Um.
requested an in-person.
On page 2.
From
Sergio
the-
Quesada. What was the issue on Mr. Quesada? Let me see.
He had been set for trial, Judge, and he hadn't been booked on the new family violence felony. Then he was booked, he bonded out, and I think now they're both tracking together, but I'm not sure. Let me double check. And I don't think he had been checking in with Mr. Marufo. I have not had contact with him, Judge, either.
Is he here, Mr. Marufo?
No, Judge, I went out there at 9 o'clock and at 9:15 and he wasn't there.
Okay, so what I will say is this, Ms. Pages, if you'll attempt to get in touch with him, I don't know if you have better contact info or not. But as soon as we're done with the Zoom docket portion of our docket today, I think we have an in-person proceeding. We'll go in there and I will recall it in person and see if we have any information on him. If he's a no-show, we'll have to operate accordingly.
Yes, Judge, and just so the court is aware, I have not been able to get a hold of him. So I have attempted to call him and I have
he-
not had success in getting a
Is
hold.
he on PR bond for anything? Let's see. I don't recall getting a PR report.
I
on him.
want to say he's on a cash surety bond, Judge. So
No PR bond on the assault impeding. He's got, he's on a $10,000 PR bond. Myrna, would you please contact PR? Let me see, Sergio Quesada. I don't recall seeing a report from PR on Mr. Quesada. So maybe they have some information that might help us locate him. All right, okay, sounds good. So we'll call Quesada, Mr. Marufo in person, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Who's next?
thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second on page 6, Judge.
Give me 1 second. Also on that one, Myrna, if we have another, it looks like we have another cause number, so we need to track them together, please.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you. Who's next? I'm sorry, go ahead.
In cause number 2021-0D01583, State of Texas versus Mark Samuel Franco. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Jim Darnell for Mark Franco. We're ready, Your Honor.
Good morning, and we're here for a final hearing plea deadline, but I believe we reset this without actually setting a trial date, as we've passed final hearing plea deadlines in March, and there was a motion for continuance for July, and then it looks like we passed over August. So what are we doing here? Ms. Rogge, what's the rec?
It's a Class A misdemeanor, 18 months deferred, anger management, UABA, curfew, no offensive contact with CW, $1,000 fine, 100 hours of community service, and all other standard terms.
Mr. Darnell.
I think we're going to have a trial, Your Honor, at this point.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna need to find you a trial date, Mr. Darnell. This September, October, November, I think are not too good. So I don't know how quickly how quickly you're gonna want the trial, but I'll have to find you a trial date. Can we just look maybe, Myrna, at early 2023, unless we can find something latter 2022. Mr. Darnell, do you know of any unavailability for 2022? Might be a lot, I don't know.
Yeah, Judge, I've got a hearing scheduled before the Commission on Judicial Conduct in the middle, and I also have a trial in one of these January 6th cases set in December. So my December is probably more than shot.
Okay, let me ask, it's not gonna give you any real heartburn if I have you out like in March or April of 2023? Okay, perfect.
No, Your Honor.
So Myrna, let's just find the next available trial setting in, say, March, April, that window, and we'll just get them new settings. I really probably don't need to see them until 2023. So maybe we just do status conference in January, something in February, and then of course, you know, or maybe something in March, something like that. Since
Okay.
this is there anything
That'll
outstanding,
work.
Mr. Darnell? Anything requiring a hearing?
I don't believe it, not at this point anyway.
Okay. So we'll be looking at 2023, Ms. Frago. I'm not ignoring you. Any concerns about having it that far down the road? Any issues with witnesses, anything like that?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor. If
Okay.
there is something, I'll let you know.
Okay, please let me know if, once we get a setting also, if you see there's some kind of conflict there with witnesses, we can work on a new date. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Darnell. Do you have anything else?
That's it. Thank you all.
Take care. Who's next?
Judge, I'm just waiting on the interpreter login for a probation status hearing.